Book it. Don't miss. Welcome to Book It Wrestling Podcast for the fans, by the fans. We book, rebook, and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, LilXFudge, and today we are here with Damone D Money,
Mellow,
and the bad guy Kenny.
Oh yeah.
So this is a month with a lot to celebrate. It is Black History Month. It is the Bookie Awards next week. We'll get to why in just a moment. It is the final round of Bookiverse. And it is also NBA All-Star Weekend. So if you can't tell by my choice of apparel today and by our pre-intro, we're going to be revisiting not only the All-Star Weekend, but the trade deadline. We've had so much happen to shake up the basketball landscape, like WWE's own Bayley attending the All-Star game. We had Luka Doncic to the Lakers. We had Anthony Davis hurt again. But today, we think the world of pro wrestling needs a trade deadline. We got some people who need to move around. We need to see new places. And we're going to make that happen today. So in celebration of All-Star Weekend trade deadline, we're going to be giving you a pro wrestling trade deadline. Now, you're probably wondering, what happened to the bookies being this week? And we'll tell you, Travis is dying of measles. Thanks, RFK. And Mike is in a snowstorm because a plane crashed into his car. Thanks, Trump. Dramatics aside, they are stuck, unable to attend tonight.
It's up.
We want our full cast here for the bookies. We didn't want to have those two skip class. So next week, the Bookie Awards are on. We'll be here, dressed to impress, ready for me to become a 3-time Hater of the Year. Now, with that said, let's talk about the trade deadline. So here, I will present to you, both on the screen and read aloud, the rules.
John in his funky, weird ass fucking font he chose.
I changed the font. Fuck you. So let me zoom in on this.
You're good.
All right. Bet. So the rules are as follows. Each Book It Boy will be given a brand based on what they watch the most. So I am the resident AEW watcher. D Money probably has the best balance of NXT and TNA. We will be combining those as their rosters interact the most and will create the most balanced size. And then Kenny will have main roster WWE. Our goal is...
I watch them. I don't just watch that.
Well, you watch like every fucking thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watch them all.
You watch the most fed weekly shows, so it makes sense. But we will try to make the most balanced trades, though the salaries don't have to be exact matches. We just can't gain more than $15 million in new talent because we don't want to hit that second apron in terms of our salary caps. So our fictional salaries, because we only know what a few guys make in real life. So we're assigning legends to being worth $4 million a year, main eventers, which are people who have won world titles, $3 million, mid-carders, $2 million, and jobbers worth $1 million. Each company will take turns making offers. If they don't get a talent from the other after 3 tries, their turn will pass. We will go until everyone has acquired $15 million in new talent, and then we will make cards with our updated rosters. So to kind of give the too long didn't read, I'm AEW, Kenny's the Fed, Damone's NXT TNA combo, and we're trying to make trades with one another. We basically got $15 million to spare. The salaries don't have to match in our trades, but once we've got $15 million in new talent, we're done. We're capped out. And we have to try to convince the other person to allow them to take their talent by offering up talent of our own. So, who would like to be the first to make an offer?
Kenny can go first.
Yeah, we'll start with the WWE.
Okay, so I'll make my first trade. So AEW,
Yep.
I'm going to trade Shinsuke Nakamura for the Acclaimed. Now, hear me out. I know they are currently separated, but I feel like we can breathe new life in them. Like, so I'm not
Mhm.
including Billy Gunn. I'm just doing the main two. So I feel like with Shinsuke Nakamura, he's kind of at that stage where, yeah, he was champion, but nobody really cares like that. But the Acclaimed is also to the point where they're kind of on the lower end of the roster. So I feel like we both would benefit because we both would breathe new life into the Acclaimed. So at this point, I feel like they can help us out because we need a tag. We need another tag team. Because let's
Yep.
be real, I think Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are going to split. It's looking like that, and we need more tag teams anyway. I think that's what's hurting us is we never really keep tag teams around long, and I feel like that would help us, and that'll also help you guys because that'll breathe new life for upper mid Carter, or if you want to make him world champion in AEW. But I don't think you guys would do that. But I feel like he can be um what's the championship that fucking
Continental or international?
international. That's the one I was thinking of. I
That's
was
the
thinking
one that
maybe
Takeshi
you could put him
wants.
there. Yeah, maybe fight for that.
They should combine them and call them the Intercontinental.
Well,
Well, that would go hard, actually.
I just feel like it would help us both. Like I said, and it's not like we're either one of us are losing anybody big. It's just the fact that once we get them, we both will actually benefit in this trade.
I'm gonna think about that for a minute because I would give Max Caster for a bag of chips. Um, but Anthony Bowens has potential. Like if I were to push him and make him the first gay like major company world champion and really sell that, um, not that pride should just be used for corporate pride, but them corporate pride dollars would go crazy. Um, so we did forget one of the rules, and that's about tag teams. We talked about this in private. We did not state that for the audience. So a for a like a top tag team, they combine for a salary of $2 million. So I'll put that over here in the blue as well as top tag teams. So that's like your current tag champs or multi-time tag champs, like the Hardys or Street Profits haven't won in a while, but like who's like a top tag team right now? Like Judgment Day, maybe.
Motor
I know
City Machine Guns.
Yeah,
Motor City Machine
DIY
Guns.
Street Profits.
Uh, while
It's mainly all the SmackDown ones. Raw really doesn't have the big tag teams at the moment.
and then regular tag teams. So I'd say tag teams haven't won much in a while or don't win very often. So you could say like I know that is it
Like
War Raiders right now?
they're the champions right
They're the
now.
current champions, but beforehand they would have
Yeah.
been like 1 million or
Like
like
so, like Los Lotharios.
Los Lotharios. So a regular tag team
Oh,
would be for
Phantasmo.
1 million, the same price as a jobber. So I'll say regular tag teams. So basically just non contenders. There we go. Update those rules for the audience. So I'm being offered the Acclaim for Shinsuke Nakamura. That's tough. Ooh, he gave me a banger to start with. Because I get it. Neither of the Acclaims do much because Tony Khan don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
And I feel like Shinsuke Nakamura would instantly do something. God, that opportunity for Anthony Bowens. If I let that go to the Fed and he pops off, I'm going to feel stupid.
Well, remember, we're trying to do what benefits both of us. So it's not
Yeah,
just you're trying to get over on somebody. It's what
of
we
course.
think would help your company at the moment.
So the Acclaimed haven't been like champs in a while, so they'd be worth 1 million. And Shinsuke Nakamura is a mid carder at 2 million. Could I maybe throw in a jobber with? Wait, no. So I would have to offer you more. So that's actually kind of a steal. I'm winning that trade in terms of money, at least. Um, you know what? For the sake of accepting the first trade, yeah, I'm gonna accept that. And if Anthony Bowens is great down the line, I'll just be typical Tony Khan and feel stupid later. So WWE gains the Acclaimed and has 14 million remaining. They lost $1 million for the Acclaimed. I gained Shinsuke Nakamura, mid-carder. And I lost 2 million for him. So I have 13 million left. So would that go to AEW or NXT TNA next?
Let's just go in order of where we're at. So I think you should go next.
Okay. I'm gonna make an offer to TNA. So this
Okay.
will be the TNA part of your roster, Damone. You already know that I want Nick Nemeth to AEW. Actually, I might go for Ali first because that would be a little bit cheaper of a contract.
Okay.
So I'm going to offer. So Ali would be a mid Carter. So I'm trying to match or go less than. Okay, this would be kind of a straight up trade, and I feel like this would be better for all parties. Would you do straight up Mustafa Ali for Adam Cole?
Um.
Because I feel like Adam Cole has lost all his goodwill in AEW. That's where he like got out of shape, started getting body shamed, had like the Britt Baker breakup, the MJF storyline flop, the Jericho match, the injuries. His bad luck is in AEW, and he needs to get the fuck out of there for his own sake. And Mustafa Ali would just work really well with that style, and I think he could be a world champion in AEW, and he could in TNA too. But I think it would mean more in AEW.
You know what? I'll accept that trade. I think it's a pretty even trade, like you said. Ali, I think he'll do great in AEW, and with the like politician gimmick, I think he can do well. He can at least be contending for the both mid titles really. And then Adam Cole and TNA can be almost an instant main eventer, but also could like revitalize the X Division Championship.
Yeah, and the pop he would get to returning in NXT would be pretty big because Triple H and him get along really well. So like I feel like he would be used better instantly, and I feel like he needs WWE's like gym culture a little bit. I hate to body shame him, but like everybody's on his ass for it, and I feel like they had him in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
So NXT and A, you're up to make a trade.
Okay, so Kenny,
Okay.
let me whisper in your ear.
All right. Look in my eyes.
I want Pretty Deadly. I want to inject some more life into the TNA and AEW or not AEW NXT tag team division. I know you're a Ren Sinclair fan, so I'd be willing to give up Ren Sinclair for Pretty Deadly.
Ren Sinclair for Pretty Deadly. Because that means I'm moving her up technically, so she would go to the main roster. So Pretty Deadly.
They're pretty much jobbers at this point. Like I don't remember the
You're
last
not
time they
wrong.
won a match,
You're not wrong.
but they're super talented, and they were definitely over in NXT previously.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. I will take it.
So NXT and A gains Pretty Deadly. That's a regular tag team worth 1 million. So Pretty Deadly. So Damone's going down to 12 million remaining. And Kenny got who?
Ren Sinclair. She would be pretty much a jobber too.
This is
How do I
pretty much
spell her?
jobber.
WREN.
And then Sinclair. Got
Yeah,
it.
Sinclair.
So,
I went right
and
to your. I knew your fandom for Ren Sinclair, so I'm like, I think I can get him on this one.
I
Not
feel
that like I'm robbing you or anything, but
what I would do is because, in my opinion, I feel like Raw is the wrestling show, SmackDown is the story show. I feel like we can put her on Raw. She can put on crazy matches with like Dakota Kai, Lyra Valkyria, people like that. So I feel like she can really do something with that. I can really do something with that roster.
yeah, I think she's good. And she was like, I would say when they did the fuck was it called? the Iron Survivor, you could make an argument she was the MVP of the women's match.
Yeah.
So it's
All
back
right,
on you,
bad
Kenny.
guy. It's all you.
Okay. So for this one, I am talking to TNA.
Okay.
Now you just took one of my tag teams. I
Yeah.
was I was trying to throw the tag team thing here, but I'm gonna have to take another one of your tag teams for that.
Okay.
Now I want to take ABC from you. I know Chris Bay's injured. We're gonna act like
We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen.
Yeah, we're acting like that
or
didn't
that
happen.
or that he's fine. He's
He'll make
okay.
a great brand ambassador for WWE.
So yeah, so what I want to do is I feel like this works on both ends. So
Okay.
if I give you AJ Styles, I feel like with AJ Styles, we're
Ooh.
not really doing much with him at the moment. I know he's come back, but
AJ and TNA, you gotta have it.
I feel like AJ Styles coming back to TNA would be great for you guys. You know, you guys will have that big. You can put him right back into the main event card if you want, because he's going to be that guy again immediately. And then I take ABC from you because again, I'm trying to revitalize my tag teams. And we can also see like how quick they are, and the match we're gonna have is crazy. We're gonna have DIY. I'm not really a fan of DIY, but for the sake of the company, DIY, Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and then now you add them to it. I feel like we can do something with that.
You're sold. AJ was already on my list to come back because I want to bring back some of the legends, and he's still good enough. Like he had a good match tonight against against Dom Mysterio. They had a pretty good match, and I think AJ's still good enough to like come back and provide some legitimacy too. And we can put him in the Hall of Fame because I don't think he's
So
in the Hall of Fame yet.
there's one question that remains on the salary side. AJ is a former world champion, but
Yes.
it's been a while. He has main evented a pay-per-view. Would we consider him main event or mid card?
I would say right now mid card.
Yeah, I would also go mid card as well. Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna argue for the $3 million just because he has been in world title matches this year and he is a multi-time world champion. But I'll let it slide. Just because me and Damone are both running low on money compared to Kenny, or at least we were. If it had been Kenny, I would have made him pay the $3 million. All right, it's my turn. I feel like we need to buff up the women's division quite a bit. So I'm going to be looking through to see who I really need. But I need somebody to really shake things up, somebody I can push right away.
That's what's coming at you with next. That is what I had planned for you next, because I know you need it.
Yeah, I might wait and hear that trade out. I think I'm gonna talk to WWE on this one, and nobody's gone for a main eventer yet, so I feel like I should go for a main event.
I got to play it.
We haven't had a trade get denied yet either, so I got to get
No.
ballsy. You know what? I want to have Seth Rollins finish his career as Tyler Black in AEW. I'm gonna go for a trade for Seth Rollins, and what I'm gonna offer, so that's $3 million. Who I'm gonna offer? What might you want?
You're gonna have to bring it.
You
I
are.
know, I gotta get a good trade. What if I offer you Darby Allin and the Guns?
Darby Allin and the oh man,
That's a weird ass combination.
that is like when you said it, because I was like in my head I was like, are they a team? I was like, no, they're not. It was just random.
No, I'm just offering like a singles guy and a tag team for Seth Rollins.
It's not a, and you can Darby could possibly be a main eventer.
I think with Darby, he would be that kind of like how Pennant is at the moment, like how he's gonna be low key viral,
Yeah.
just get everybody talking. The Guns aren't really the conversation piece here. It's really Darby and Seth for this.
Hey, we're not gonna disrespect the Guns.
No,
They're
I'm not
good.
saying they're bad, but they're not like, you know.
They got one of the hardest entrances ever. That many men entrance is hard.
Well,
But
you're
we
not
can't
getting that in
we can't use
WWE
many
though. They
men.
don't be paying no music.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's not gonna be many men. It's gonna be
They
the
don't even pay
guns.
for
We're gonna say
music
their name too.
themselves.
The
Yeah.
guns.
multiple males, multiple males.
4
Yeah.
big guys.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give this the first no on this. I'm gonna like
Okay.
really think about it. As over as Seth Rollins is, yes, he wasn't as over as he was before, but he's still over. I just can't do it for this sake. You offer me something else, we can talk about it. But I feel
Okay,
like
so
I
I got
can't give
2
not
more
not for them.
to get a trade done. So I'm gonna try a little something different. Damone, I'm gonna try to get a main eventer from you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna offer a main event for main event, and I feel like this is gonna fit the TNA agenda. I'm gonna offer Samoa Joe for Nick Nemeth straight up.
I don't think I can do it straight up because feel like Joe is closer to the end of his career than Nick is. Like I feel like
They're both
Nick
in
I
their
can get enough.
40s.
Yeah, but I feel like Nick I can get another 10 years out of, and Joe feels like another 2.
Okay, but imagine the pot for TNA Samoa Joe.
That is true.
Okay, what if I add in? Oh, this would be kind of a salary. I would say Sanjay Dutt. I don't know if he still wrestles though.
He does not.
He
I
does
wish he
not.
did. He does not. He does
I
not.
don't know. I don't think you want Jeff Jarrett.
Uh
I was gonna say
Would you?
Jeff Jarrett is one you can
I
move.
would if you threw in Jeff Jarrett, I would take it.
Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett. So I'm throwing in a main event and a mid card. So that'd be, well, Samoa Joe could be counted as a mid card.
Yeah.
So it'd be 4 for 3. For me to get Nick Nemeth, I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Okay. So you get Nick and I get Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett.
Gotta get the. I have the original TNA agenda just as much as you do.
I'm putting TNA back. 2008 TNA is coming back. My world.
It's my world, my
So
world.
then you lost 4 million. It's going down to 6, and I lost 3 million, going down to 9. Wait, no, 8. And it's your turn.
Okay. Do I go big here or do I? It's the I feel like I've been or AEW. I want Brian Cage back.
Okay,
But are we saying Brian Cage is a mid carder or a jobber?
he's a jobber.
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
jobber for sure.
So I am willing to give you no AJ Francis.
If you make it Casey Navarro instead, who's also a jobber, I'll go 1 for 1 on that. Casey Navarro is a future. AJ Francis does not.
I'm willing to do that. I'm not like I've seen Casey Navarro wrestle, but I'm not like super big sold or like he's the future of the company or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to
No,
do
he is
that.
made first class 100 times more entertaining than when Rich Swann was in it. So I'll do it for Casey Navarro.
So Casey
Uh,
Navarro for
Put me down to 7 mil. And then you get Brian Cage, put you down to 5 mil. We got to start taking some money off Kenny. He's fleecing us. He plays too much GM mode. He's beating our ass.
Hey, I've gotten everybody I've wanted. Everybody I've picked it was on my
Wait, he got
list.
the Acclaim for 1 mil, Ren Sinclair for 1 mil, and then ABC for 2. No, that makes sense. Damn, yeah. Well, the Acclaimed has been jobbing, so and breaking up. So it is Kenny's turn. So
we're gonna breathe new life into all these people for real. Because if they any of these people came to Raw or SmackDown, well, not Ren Sinclair because she's already in NXT, but like they claimed and ABC, I feel like they could really the crowd will go nuts for them.
yeah, for sure. I feel like everybody but Casey Navarro on my list would get a pop. Casey Navarro would be somebody who'd have to wrestle his way up the card. But
Okay.
bad guy, it's your turn.
All right, so my next one, I'm going AEW.
Okay.
I'm going to give you I'm going to give you Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I'm considering them a package deal. Hear me out. Hear me out. So
Okay.
Karrion Kross and Scarlett for Matt Sydal. And I feel like with Matt Sydal, that he can go back to being Evan Bourne again because they don't talk about him in AEW at all. They
That's
don't
true.
talk about him at all.
Yeah,
And
he
he could be a
works
legend in WWE
He
for
will be.
sure.
I was about to say yes. He will be considered a vet here, and at the same time, in AEW, you have somebody that could possibly join House of Black now that Malachi Black is gone. You have a replacement for him.
Mm.
You also have a solid. If you don't want to go that route, you have somebody another mid card champion guy as well who can be a great heel for you if need be. And then you also have Scarlett too. That's gonna be wrestling too, and she's gonna be talking her shit. And especially with those two, they're gonna really be talking their shit now. Now they're in AEW and not WWE. So just saying, just think of the possibilities. I know you don't like Karrion Kross, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
think about your brand.
I do. I'm willing to give you Matt Sydal. I'm gonna ask for something a little different. I'm not gonna try to inflate the value of Matt Sydal because I know it's like -0 right now. I know -0 is not a number, but that's what he's worth right now. Um, but Cross and Scarlett would not be good for AEW. I feel like that fan base would turn on them really fast, and I feel like their lack of in-ring ability would really hurt them in AEW more so than it does in WWE. However, I am willing to look through your roster and take on like a jobber or two in exchange for Matt Sydal because I'm not dying to hold on to him.
So I got one more for you. I got one more for you then. If you don't want to do that, I got another one
Okay.
for you. A backup one. Hear me out.
Okay.
I
Hearing
take
you.
I take Wardlow from you. You
Okay.
guys aren't doing shit with him anyway. I give
Yeah.
you Zelina Vega. We're not really doing shit with her. And I feel like with that cross, we can turn
Yeah.
Wardlow into a mid card champion kind of guy over here. You actually have a more inflated women's division now because the women's division, let's be real, it sucks over there right now. But I feel
Yeah.
like Zelina Vega, she's not the best wrestler, but she can get the pop if she showed up, and then you can do what you need to do from there.
I will take that one for sure because that won't hurt me salary wise. And Zelina Vega, I feel like if she was pushed right, could be a bigger deal, especially if AEW wants to like follow in the Fed's footsteps and try a Puerto Rico show. Um, and I feel like she's a good enough promo to like be a star in AEW if they really committed to it. And yeah, Matt Sydal is being wasted, um, and him being Evan Bourne again would get so much more of a pop. Like and then we would get, and you go down to 10 million. God, Kenny is fleecing our jobbers. But to be fair, in this case, I got a job or two, so it don't hurt me too bad. Okay. So, Kenny, I'm going to trade with you again for my turn, and I'm going to offer you a similar thing. Because you know who else would get a big pop going back to WWE again? I feel like John Morrison should finish his career there.
He's on my list. He was on my list. We can
And
talk.
I know you're trying to build up a jobber army here. And
Jobber army is insane.
I feel like I'm debating whether to buff my women's division or my mid card, but I have a couple of ideas. I want to go jobber for jobber clean. Okay. That's on Raw. What about SmackDown? I'm looking at Raw's roster. See what SmackDown's cooking. Okay. I'm gonna offer John Morrison. Would you rather trade Tyler Bate or Akira Tozawa?
Tozawa's gone. Tozawa's
Tozawa.
gone. Actually, no. You know what? Let's do Tyler Bate.
Tyler
Let's do
Bate.
Tyler Bate. That fits. That
So
way,
we'll
I don't
do.
really lose that faction I got still.
So Johnny TV will be back to being John Morrison as he should be.
We going crazy over here. We going crazy.
Yeah, I get Tyler Bate in AEW would go hard. We could just make him the new Zack Sabre Jr. For whenever Zack Sabre Jr. don't want to come here no more. And all right, it is D Money. It's your turn.
Kenny, I'm gonna
What's good?
slide back in your DMs.
Okay.
I want Dragunov back.
I was gonna trade.
Okay,
That's my next
let's. What were you thinking? Let's talk this out. What were you thinking that you want in exchange for him?
Now, I had a couple people in mind.
Okay.
Main one I was thinking, because I was thinking Moose, but
Ooh, that's a good trade.
because I feel like Moose can be a spectacle here. Put him on Raw, maybe have Moose against Gunther. We can
That
probably
would
do
be
something like
fire.
that. Maybe even throw him on the SmackDown. Maybe have Moose dominate in some kind of tag team fashion, and then break apart. Maybe make him have a good mid card run. But I don't know. Who you thinking? Who are you trying to trade? Who you trying to trade Dragunov for though?
I was gonna be willing to give you like a combo of Lexus King and Andre Chase, but I am willing to do the
Dragunov.
Dragunov for Moose.
Let's get it.
So Moose is a main eventer for TNA, I'd say. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because
he's been world champion
he was
this
just
year.
world champion. Like,
Yeah.
and he's
So that's
still and
still
he's isn't he
3
still
mil.
the X division champion?
But for NXT, Dragunov's a main eventer, right?
No,
Yeah.
he's a mid carder now. He's on
Well,
the main roster.
because he's on the main roster, and he was a mid carder.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Because he got called up, then he got hurt right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt like 3 months later. I'm hoping he's back for main.
But he was going for a mid card championship anyway.
Yeah, he was going for the IC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They need to run that back. Dragunov versus Walter, not Walter, Gunther.
We're running out of money. We got to start getting crazy here. We got to get some.
I got two that I really wanted to do. I got two that I really wanted to do.
Okay.
It just depends on. This is mainly for TNA.
Okay.
So my first offer is you give up the Rascals. That way I can build my tag team up just a little bit more, and I give you R-Truth. Now, R-Truth, yes, he is a comedic wrestler over here, but he will be Ron the Truth Killings over there.
The original TNA agenda.
That's what I'm saying. So now you still got the original TNA, and he's going to be a threat, and he still hasn't missed a step in ring. And backstage, he can teach the younger guys some things. I'm just saying.
I hear you, but I kind of wanted to put
and you guys
Rascals and Wesley back together with Wesley and like run that as a trio again.
And here's the thing too, but TNA, your
That'd be
main
hard to do with a story right
main
now,
event
though.
scene is kind of boo boo right now. Let's be
Well,
real. And
I'm
then
getting Adam Cole and Brian.
I just took Moose from you. I
wouldn't say their main event scene's boo boo. They're about to push Mike Santana. They
Okay.
fine.
So the main event scene is still boo boo. Like I stated.
To be fair, I just gained a bunch of main eventers. I got Adam Cole, AJ, Jeff, Samoa Joe, Cage, Dragunov could be a main eventer in TNA. But I hear what you're saying.
versus Joe Hendry would smack for no reason.
But I hear you.
That's my first offer. If you don't want to take it, I got another offer for you.
Let me hear your next offer, because I love R-Truth. Don't get me wrong, but he is pretty old, and I would like to. I'd prefer to keep the Rascals together.
Okay.
Unless, like, I need a different offer. If R-Truth was like 10 years younger, maybe.
He still got it, man. He still got it. And my other offer is
Black don't crack.
My other offer is I'm going to give you Finn Balor.
Okay.
Ooh.
So he is immediately jumping to the main event scene over there because he's going to be Prince Devitt over there, and you give me Jeff Hardy. Now Jeff Hardy ain't who he used to be over there. So that way you're taking someone a little younger, but the nostalgia of having Jeff Hardy back in WWE would help me a lot. Just seeing Jeff Hardy come back doing his thing.
I feel like y'all are doing similar things. Like Kenny's reviving like 2010 like WWE, and Damone's reviving 2008 TNA.
Well, if you look at what I got over there, I got a couple late 2000s, early 2010s, but I also got some new talent coming in as well with the Claim, Ren Sinclair, ABC, Moose. But then I also got Matt Sydal, Johnny TV, and if he gives me Jeff Hardy, I got him too.
It was Jeff Hardy for who again?
Jeff Hardy for Finn Balor. You get Finn Balor off me.
I'll do that. I'll do that deal. I think
So that's
Jeff
a
Hardy's
mid-card or a
washed.
mid-card?
So
No. He's definitely washed, but now here he can wrestle slower, and it works. All we gotta do is require him to jump off one thing, every other pay-per-view, and we're straight. Just
Jeff
jump off
has also been
every other
improving in ring. Like his last couple matches have been good, and he's been saying that a lot of his ring rust is coming off. But that is
Also,
going to push
I don't.
Damone pretty far low. He's going to go down to 1 because Finn Balor's a mid-carder, so he's going to be on his last
Right.
million.
The thing is too. Now I don't have to worry about the inevitable Jeff Hardy screw up. So that's on you now. I got rid of him before he could fuck up again.
We just need Jeff Hardy to come back for the Royal Rumble when his music hits. Can you see the writings on the wall? And everybody's going crazy, just doing his thing. He's gonna get eliminated. He's not gonna win it, but he can just have the crowd.
He can make
crazy.
a Final Four and still it be a big deal.
Yeah, he's gonna do his thing, and then
he can jump off a ladder or two. And
that's all I need.
And a Money in the Bank.
That's all I need. I just need somebody to talk this shit, and then he comes out and be like, "Nah, I'm still him. I'm still that guy. I can do it." It could be Mello. Mello could talk his stuff to him, and then Jeff Hardy's like, "Nah, we can do this right now." And then they fight.
Gunther can smack him out of the air.
Oh my gosh! Oh no, Jeff. But yeah, we got some plans over here. We got some plans over here we can do.
See, I want to do a 3-team trade, but I don't want to dictate what Damone's last dollar goes to.
What's the 3-team trade offer?
I haven't put it together yet, but I feel like we have to do one for it to really be a trade deadline. Like you're the Utah Jazz trying to just get a draft pick,
yeah.
While we're like the Lakers and the Mavs right now. So
can I get some cash consideration?
I want to try to make a crazy swing again, though. Like I want to try to get a big deal. So.
Swing for the fences,
John. Do I try to go for Seth Rollins again, or do I try to go for someone else? The Miz in AEW would be crazy, and that would only be a mid-carder, though.
I had something for the Miz. I did have something for the Miz on one of my trades.
I don't know if the Miz would do well in AEW, but the Miz with the freedom to say curse words in promos would be fun to watch. Not that matters.
Trade then, if you don't have one ready, I can offer you mine that I have, and it has the Miz in it, so you can still get the Miz in this trade.
You know what? What's your idea? I'll hear it.
Now, my trade is the Miz.
Yep.
But I take Britt Baker from you. I feel like with Britt Baker, she's still considered a bigger name, even though in AEW, it is what it is right now. But if she came on WWE, they'd be like, bro, that's Britt Baker. She can be a big deal over here. And then with the Miz on your brain, he's gonna talk his stuff. The promo battles will be crazy. You have the Miz versus MJF finally. You have other things you can do with him. And then with me with Britt Baker, I can also increase. I would say Raw, if anything. I can have her go crazy on Raw if I wanted to. So I feel like we both would win on that trade. And I can have another solid competitor for the women's championship. Have her go up against Rhea Ripley, maybe. Have her go up against Bayley, different people like that. Bianca Belair.
I will say, I'm not opposed to that trade because I don't give a fuck about Britt Baker. I do kind of want the Miz, but I kind of want to see if I can make an offer that can get a little more out of you. So what if, and Damone, this is going to be a 3-team trade idea.
He's able to do it.
What if Damone gives Kenny Mike Santana, I give Kenny Britt Baker, and Kenny gives me Seth Rollins, and then he gives Damone, so he'd be trading a mid-carder. He gave Damone Andrade.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say no to that.
The
Seth Rollins was the part that was like,
we forgot to set untouchables, but I was trying to get him off you.
Seth Rollins will be considered one of the untouchables. You'd have to give up a lot for Seth Rollins over here.
I just feel like him in AEW, he would fuck himself up fast.
And then
Man,
Andrade,
that 1 year
like,
great. Like,
Andrade's one of the people where he's not a big name for us, but he's one of those people that he's a big shining spot over here.
He's definitely solid.
Yeah, so
okay.
I wouldn't. Those two are low key untouchable for me.
So there's Britt Baker and Miz on the table. I got one more offer I can make, or I gotta take that Miz Britt Baker straight up.
I think it's a good
It
trade.
is. But I'm trying to do some crazy shit here. Like,
You are. You
I
just keep
want to
throwing
pull off
wrong
a
names.
three
You're
team.
like Seth Rollins. I can't do it.
Okay, I'm trying to make a big swing here. Just because we've been too tame with these trades. I'm trying to spice shit up. You know what I mean?
Go for
I'm trying to
Cody.
be Rob Pelinka over here. Like,
You're trying to get us
okay.
fired.
Certain trades, I'm ready to do, but I'm like, nah, it's NXT. I can't do it. There's some trades I've been wanting to do, but it's NXT.
Kenny, how are you feeling about the availability of Kevin Owens?
That's another big one. He's a big deal over here. He's been feuding with Cody Rhodes.
So if I put him in the place of Rollins in that trade, would you take it for Mike Santana and Britt Baker?
No,
Fuck.
Mike Santana is not him like that. Kevin
Nope.
Owens is a big deal.
Bro, have you seen his work at TNA lately? That man's been cooking.
That's cool, but
Jack Kevin
Mike
Owens.
Santana right now is better than Andrade right now. Like,
he's not over like Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins is.
that's
They're
true.
literally they're
You're getting two acts because Britt Baker will be over for you.
she definitely will for us, yeah. But I'm
That's
saying,
what I'm
like,
saying. If
does
you're
the Miz
getting a
be
mid
over
Carter from
you guys
Damone
too?
and one from me, two mid Carters for a main event.
I get you trying to make this three-way trade popping, but I'm just, if we're gonna be real, I feel like
Let me see if I can replace Mike Santana with somebody else that you give a fuck about on Damone's roster.
I've never seen what Pat Buck looks like until today. I did not know he had red hair.
Okay, I don't know if Damone will take this, but Kenny might be into it, and this is my last offer. If I don't get this one, I'm taking Miz for Britt Baker straight up.
Okay.
Do you like Ace Austin like that?
Who, me?
Kenny.
Oh.
I already got him.
Oh yeah, you got ABC. That's right.
Yeah,
okay,
I do like him, but I already got him.
I feel like Kenny would like Jake something, right?
Yeah, he's okay.
Fuck.
But he's not, like I said, he's not at that level that these people are. That's why I said the TNA main event scene, they needed these people that was giving them, that was offering.
Yeah,
You're better off looking at the NXT end.
you're right. So mid Carter and NXT. I was neglecting doing that. Well, Javon Evans is considered a mid Carter in NXT, correct?
No.
Yes.
No. He's like, he is, I want
Yeah.
to say upper mid, possibly main eventer. He's usually, if he's main eventing, he's usually in a multi-man match. He's never
So
been.
I'd say he's a mid Carter.
So I
He's
would
like
say
where
he's a
Okada's at.
mid-carder. Yeah, where like he's been in main event matches, but like usually he's mid card. Like not like he lost, right? He lost this weekend.
He's
didn't he?
like LA
Yeah.
Knight, where he's not going to
Yeah.
main event by himself, but he could possibly do. Well, LA Knight has main event by himself, actually.
All right, here's my last offer, and if not, I'm
Okay.
taking Miz for Britt Baker. And Damone can decline this too and shut this down. So Damone sends Javon Evans to WWE.
Okay.
I send Britt Baker to WWE.
Okay.
And then Kenny sends Sami Zayn to fuck. Okay.
So I
Yep,
shut
Miz
that
Britt Baker it is.
Kenny's a tough negotiator.
for that, because he wants these people that are like, these are big people.
Sami Zayn's not even a main eventer.
He's not,
over.
but
He's
He
over,
could
though.
be.
He's
over.
yeah, like him and KO are gonna kill each other.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I can't do it.
I'm trying to get somebody that like
right
has
now.
like
It's just happened. I can't lose him right now.
I'm trying to get those type guys, those like former indie guys, just because like I know that like there'd be demand for them in AEW to like go back to their old personas and do crazy shit. But yeah, I'll take that for my turn. Miz for Britt Baker. I'll do that. So it is D Money's turn. Now he gets to dictate how his last million goes.
He got to pay a jobber.
Yeah, so John, I'm gonna slide in your DMs now.
Okay.
I want Abaddon.
Okay, what are you offering?
Yeah, she fits in TNA and NXT.
So she's a jobber. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, for
they
real.
only pop her out during Halloween.
Yeah,
So
not in PPW, she's not, but
true. I'm willing to give you Noam Dar. Like right
I'm
now
not gonna
he's
lie.
hurt, but
I ain't seen a Noam Dar match since 205 Live, and he was the least impressive person on 205 Live. Granted, he was like 19, like, and it's been like 6 years.
true.
But let me see what else you got. Jobber for jobber. I'm willing to give you Abaddon. I want a different jobber though.
I was gonna say you could bring Chase U to AEW. You'd have to call it something else, but I know you don't want Lexus King back.
Fuck no. I mean, Jake something's kind of a jobber in TNA.
True. I wasn't even thinking about TNA. I was thinking AEW or not
Would
AEW,
you do
NXT.
Abaddon for Jake something?
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Okay.
really have plan. I wouldn't. Jake something's cool, but that name is trash.
I like that
That name is
name. It's
awful.
very indie, and if they actually like made it a real gimmick, I feel like he could get over on it. AEW fans would like it. It's kind of comedic.
But I can pair.
Well,
I'm gonna pair her. I'm gonna pair Abaddon with Rosemary.
so that is Damone's last trade. So the last couple trades, me and Kenny are both at 2 mil a piece. So we can either trade 2 jobbers a piece or a mid Carter a piece.
Okay. I gotta think. I'm trying to cross some of these off my list too. I'm also coming up with like a little mini card too.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I'm gonna head and add.
Are you tired? Tired of those other energy drinks hitting you with a short burst of jittery energy, followed by a crash that leaves you with less energy than you had before? Ray's energy drinks are specifically formulated to get you going without making you jittery and keeps you from crashing. With 0 sugars, 0 calories, and better caffeine than a cup of coffee, Ray's energy drinks are the #1 growing energy drink on the market. With flavors like Baja Lime, Sour Gummy Worm, Guava Mango, and Strawberry Colada, Ray's has some of the best tasting energy drinks available. You can get a case of Ray's right now by going to repsports.com, and you can plug in code T1THREE when you check out to take 15% off of your next order. It's promo code T13 for 15% off of your next order of better, tastier energy.
Okay, we're back.
Okay. I've got a well, it's your turn, so I'm gonna let you make an offer first, but I've got a few targets in my head.
Okay, I got 2 trades. Well,
Okay.
break. So the first one, you might not go for it, but I'm gonna try. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like it'll make sense if you hear me out.
I'm listening.
I give you Rey Mysterio.
Mm.
You give me Orange Cassidy.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's tough because, like, and I'll explain my reasoning why it's a maybe. Orange Cassidy is a great act for us. He's a staple of AEW, but he's the first thing that the Jim Cornettes and the anti AEW crowd go to shit on, no matter how good a work he does. So he might have hit a ceiling just because of like his gimmick. And of course, they'd all change their tune the moment he went to WWE. They'd all suddenly become fans, and Orange
Yep.
Cassidy's so talented.
That's what I was about to say. I was gonna say over there, he's starting to become stale. Over here, he gets a new life over here. People like new fans watch him now. They're like, "Oh snap, who's this guy? He's kind of goofy acting, but he's kind of cool at the same time." And he will get a whole new life over here. And at the same time, you get a legend over there.
Yeah, and Rey Mysterio, one, he's got a few more years of good work in him. Two, he wrestled on the first All In. And also like if he stays long enough, um, 2 things can happen that would both be great for us. One, he could go do like what Sting's doing and be a brand ambassador, sell like his shit, and just we can make money off Rey Mysterio forever. And 2, it might convince his son to pull up in a few years when his contract expires, and that would be huge. Let me hear your second trade.
My second trade is Kyrie Zane
Mhm.
for Wardlow.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Wardlow, so that might be an instant yes. But that would be like those are both mid card for mid card. So those are both final trades.
Yeah,
I
and
have
I
a
think
few
with
targets I want. So this is probably our last trade, no matter what, unless we both do jobbers here.
yeah,
I have a few targets that I might be willing. Which you're looking at wanting Wardlow or Orange Cassidy.
I
So
don't
my
really want. That was like a backup, like really hoping you took the Orange Cassidy Rey Mysterio one.
okay.
That
So
was
for
like
Orange Cassidy, I'll offer some things that could be twos, and I'm saying the Rey Mysterio's on the maybe, but I'm gonna see if there's a few other trades that might work. What about for Alexa Bliss?
that's not bad on your end because you do need females. And then and you said you giving me who?
So these are just trades for Orange Cassidy. I'm going to give you a few ideas since this is probably the last trade. So right now we have Rey Mysterio for Orange Cassidy as a maybe. We have Alexa Bliss for Orange Cassidy as a maybe. And then the New Day's a lower card tag team. I was going
No,
to see if they
no. I can't. New Day's not. No, New Day is they're at peak heel level right now. They're not going anywhere. I think with
and then
Alexa Bliss, it's a strong maybe. The only thing with
okay.
Alexa Bliss is she just came back. Like she literally just came back. So it's like so
Yeah,
she's got the hype from the crowd right now.
there was one more. And if not, I'm just going to take the Rey Mysterio, which that's a good trade. I see the value in it. Who was the other person I had? And if I can't remember it, then we're just going to take Rey Mysterio. um,
Because I was about to be Dragon Lee, but I was like, no, he's considered to be an NXT is what they said.
yeah, he's a speed
I
champion.
don't think he's been in NXT in forever.
Yeah,
I would say Dragon Lee's whatever Ray's on.
so
Because he's not on NXT like ever.
That'll be SmackDown.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take the Rey Mysterio for Orange Cassidy. It might be a mistake because like that's part of AEW's identity, but like we just can't get some of the critics off our back, and I feel like Orange Cassidy going away might make like the cornet pilled people chill out on us. And Rey Mysterio would be like instant value because he can still work, and then like we can get the last few years of good work out of him before we just sell his mask and send him to conventions.
So disrespect.
We're gonna give him the Sting route. All right, so we have now finalized our rosters. Well, not our rosters, our trades. So to repeat before we write our cards, it is the WWE has gained Acclaimed, Ren Sinclair, ABC, Matt Sydal, Johnny TV, Moose, Jeff Hardy, Britt Baker, and Orange Cassidy. AEW has gained Shinsuke Nakamura, Mustafa Ali, Nick Nemeth, Casey Navarro, Zelina Vega, Tyler Bate, The Miz, Jake Something, and Rey Mysterio. NXTNA, any combination of NXT or TNA that Damone pleases, has gained Adam Cole, Pretty Deadly, AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, Samoa Joe, Brian Cage, Dragunov, Finn Balor, and Abaddon. So those of you who are listening down the road or watching on whatever you are, feel free to comment and tell us who won. But before we get there, let us start making some cards. So how this will work is we're just going to try to put everybody that we gained into some kind of match. We're not going to try to overthink whether it's a weekly show or like a pay-per-view. We're just going to try to use them all for something. And they don't have to be wrestling each other. They could be wrestling existing talent. So the
Oh, yeah, I
Acclaimed,
definitely did
the
that.
Motor City Machine Guns, right? Because they are now part of the WWE roster, or Mustafa Ali could wrestle Kenny Omega because he's part of the AEW roster. And likewise, AJ Styles could face Joe Hendry or whatever. So, Bad Guy, you said you were already working on your card, right?
Yeah, I pretty much got mine. Do I have to use every single person that I got all of them but one. I don't know what I plan on doing right now, but I can.
You know what? Yeah,
I
just
can
give
make
us what you have, and maybe we can help you out with the last one if you don't have any ideas.
Okay. So my first matchup would be Money in the Bank. Let's just say this Money in the Bank. It's all for Money in the Bank. Matt Sydal. So he's gonna be Evan Bourne here.
Oh hell yeah, we going back to WrestleMania 24, baby.
So we got Evan Bourne, Johnny Morrison, Mello. It's gonna be a 6-way Money in the Bank, by the way. So Carmelo Hayes, Jeff Hardy.
Damn, it's like we just put Carmelo Hayes in a time machine.
Orange Cassidy, and Jacob Fatu.
Oh dear God.
That's a fire match.
I'm like, we trying to cook over
$5.
here. Because now if you think about it, I got Jacob Fatu who's going to be playing Powerhouse, but he's still going to be doing some crazy shit because it's Jacob Fatu still. And then I got Orange Cassidy for the comedic highlights if need be. Jeff Hardy's going to jump off something. Melo's going to be taking some of these moves, but he's also going to be doing some shit too. Then John Morrison and Matt Sydal, y'all know who they are. So it's going to be this match.
They're gonna be turning back the clock, playing some of the classics.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. With the mixture of some newer people too. My next one is a world title match, so World Heavyweight Championship. Moose versus whoever wins between Gunther and Jey Uso, which we know it's gonna be Jey Uso, but just in case he doesn't win, we still got Gunther.
I think Moose vs. Gunther's a better dream match.
Yeah, but I also feel like how over. Let's say if Jey Uso wins it, we got him. He's over, and then we got Moose, who's gonna be fighting him, who's a big dominant wrestler, and then also if Jey Uso beats him, that's a credible name under his belt too as well.
Yeah. And Jey Uso don't need to hold for long, so Moose beating him would be reasonable.
Yeah. Next one would be Britt Baker versus Becky Lynch.
Ooh, this match is all aura, no substance.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, this one is ones where they're going to talk their stuff the whole time, and I feel like, especially with WWE, Becky Lynch, she's not really great in ring to me.
They're monologuing half that match.
They're going to be talking their stuff, and I feel like that whole feud leading up to it will be nice.
Yeah, that's more for the feud than the match, but I'm excited about it.
The next one is a 4-way tag team match.
Okay.
This will be DIY, Street Profits. So it's kind of like that feud they got going on right now. Motor City Machine Guns. And then add ABC. Then I got Ren Sinclair for the next match versus Dakota Kai. Be number 1 contender match for the that's for the women's Intercontinental Championship. I'm trying to think what theirs is called in Raw. I think it's Intercontinental.
Yeah.
And then my last one, I was struggling with them, but I feel like we can just throw them in there. It'd be the Acclaimed versus the War Raiders.
I mean, the rap about their appearance would be funny.
Yeah, they call them Vikings and shit like that.
Making fun of like Valhalla's crusty ass dreads.
Yeah, he just be like, the Vikings ain't been relevant since Kirk Cousins. He just, they say something corny like that. And the crowd's like, whoa!
Yeah,
that's me in the crowd saying, whoa.
Ain't heard about controversy in 10 years.
Like, yeah, so we just do that. But yeah, I feel like, I think that's everybody I got.
All right. They're well used. And I did not think about it in advance, so I'm going to be going off the cuff here. So Shinsuke Nakamura, we got to go kind of New Japan pill with that. He's got to face Kenny Omega, and he's got to get in the ring with somebody who can kind of speed him back up because he's been wrestling slow, infrequent, and like for short matches for 12 years. He's got to get somebody who can kick him in the ass and get him going. Who better than Kenny Omega?
How long has Nakamura been there?
You've been there
Since like
since NXT.
2015, right?
Yeah, been since NXT.
So
So
yeah,
12
probably
years.
yeah, around there.
Let me look it up real quick. So we
I
know.
saw something where it said that currently, I think Kofi's the longest, or besides like Randy Orton, I don't think they counted Cena, but besides Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston's like the longest tenured person.
Wouldn't it be the Miz? Because the Miz,
It might be
they're
the
both
Miz.
those bits.
I think it's Randy, the Miz, and Kofi are the three most tenured without leaving and going anywhere else. Because if
Yeah,
you can't count Ray because he left.
yeah. So Shinsuke Nakamura
It's
versus Kenny Omega.
crazy.
My next one is Mustafa Ali. I'm just gonna go balls to the wall. He's facing Will Ospreay.
Okay, that's gonna be
Actually,
a flippy
do I
ass
want to
match.
have
I
him
like
face
it.
Danielson though? Because Danielson would put him over and was supposed to.
I would do Ali versus Osprey. That match is fire.
Yeah, that's true. And Ospreay is always one who's willing to take a loss and can afford to.
Yeah, Osprey can lose and no one cares.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali versus Will Ospreay. That's an 8-star match. I don't give a fuck.
Make it in the
Nick,
Tokyo Dome. You can get the 10.
Nick Nemeth. Who'd be a great matchup for Nick Nemeth there?
Let me
Him
think.
versus the Miz again. It'll be funny. like, um, I'm
Nick versus
So Nakamura's been there since 2016.
16. So it's
9
been like
years.
9 years. Okay, so he hasn't pushed a decade there. I like when Nick Nemeth works like people like I think he works best in TNA with Moose. That's like his like wrestling soulmate there. I'm trying to think who'd be a good fit.
Because
You
he's
could
like
do
almost
Nick Nemeth
bigger.
I got
versus you could do Nick Nemeth versus Buddy.
Buddy would be good, but they've already done that. I got one. Nick
Brody
Nemeth versus
King.
Swerve.
Oh yeah, that works. I was gonna say Brody King.
Oh, you just kind of awoken something a little. I like when Nick Nemeth faces bigger guys too, because he can just get thrown around a little bit.
Yeah.
But Swerve's kind of like he looks like a big guy in AEW.
Yeah, Swerve does look like a big guy in AEW, but when you watch his old stuff, he's not that big.
Yeah. It's just
But
he got
he getting that weight in AEW before. Like you see
Yeah.
his old stuff, he was skinny.
yeah. I think Nick Nemeth versus Swerve. Well, I don't know if either can afford
I'd
the
say go with
loss.
Brody. I'd say go with Brody.
I'll go Brody King. Brody King's kind of like one who can eat losses because he's still imposing as fuck. 'Cause he looks scary. While like Swerve needs to get a win after this Ricochet feud, and Nick Nemeth would need to enter winning, so that would be booking myself into a corner.
Yeah.
KC Navarro, he's gonna be on the lower card, but I want him to have a nice opening match, so I'm gonna have him wrestle AR Fox
KC versus AR.
because KC Navarro is a guy that can lose quite a bit, because he's funny too, but like. So I could even have him face like a Ricochet or like Brian Keith maybe. But like him and AR Fox would show out in ring because Casey Navarro is like not only a guy who like is like an athletic young guy, but he's also like funny as shit. So I feel like he would eventually get really over there. Like he's a guy that could really be the future of a company if somebody invested. Zelina Vega.
I think with Zelina Vega for you guys, I feel like you can feed her to Mercedes Moné immediately, so that way she's kind of on like she looks like a threat, and it also gives her another notch on the belt for somebody in the meantime.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you can
honestly,
still.
I wouldn't be feeding her to Mercedes Moné. If I'm running AEW, I'm taking that belt off her
Oh
instantaneously.
no, I get that, but I'm saying if you're going with right now, I'm saying you can have her
Yeah.
lose like build a storyline, have her lose, then maybe she can come back and take the belt from her. But in the meantime, I would have her lose at first. So it was like, oh, so that way it's not immediately like, oh, they're really just giving the belt up immediately to this chick right here, and then she gets hate.
Right. You can have Mercedes cheat the
They're
win.
not gonna hate if it's with Mercedes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
it'll make
it's like very much like a situation where it's like Moxley, where it's like get the belt off her, please.
The
Like,
best part of
especially-
Mercedes Moné is her theme.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially like with Mercedes Moné, like she could like you can have her beat somebody like I don't know somebody random like Statlander right now.
Do I
She
even need?
wins like she wins and then she's sitting there like you sitting there smiling. All of a sudden you hear the music play. You see Zelina Vega pop up on the screen and she's just like looking all confused, like what? And then she comes out, she just comes out all fierce and it's like what? Zelina Vega's here. Zelina Vega's here. Or
Do I
she can
even
be
need to
Tia
say who the
Trinidad.
Miz is facing?
MJF.
We know we're running that. Them promos are gonna go fucking nutty.
Oh yeah, Miz versus MJF, yeah.
We gotta run that as soon as possible. Then I got Jake something. What would I want to do with Jake? I want to get him over. He's gonna win his first feud, and I want him to. He's so good in ring, and he's like jacked as fuck. So I want somebody he could really show that against. I'm gonna have Jake something. I want him to face a smaller guy that he could throw around. Somebody he can beat right off the bat. But somebody who's credible enough for it to mean something.
You could have him beat. Almost said
Think about
Ricochet.
Darby, Danielson. Danielson would be too soon for Jake something because that would be random.
What about like Kyle O'Reilly?
Kyle O'Reilly's not small enough for him to like fucking throw though. Like I want somebody that like he can really show off his strength.
Nick Wayne.
Nick, you know what? Yeah, Nick Wayne would also make it a competitive match too.
You should have had him go up against Daniel Garcia.
Daniel Garcia is not very like he doesn't sell very hard, if that makes sense, because he's like very much like AEW's anti-flip guy.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna change the Nick Nemeth match though to either Daniel Garcia or Kyle Fletcher.
No, I think that match right there is the best one you got.
You think
right
I think Brody versus Nick is perfect.
okay.
I can see Brody throwing him around and then Nick making a crazy comeback.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do Tyler Bate versus one of them, I think.
Okay.
Tyler Bate versus Daniel Garcia, Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher's gonna give you the better match. Well, actually, I got a plan. He's gonna face Daniel Garcia because they're gonna have like a grapply, like Zack Sabre Jr. style match. Because basically, what we're doing with Tyler Bate here is we're doing the finger twisties. We making him into Zack Sabre Jr. because he has all the talent that's been wasted for a decade in WWE for some fuck reason. Granted, he needs to cut his hair back down. Tyler Bate don't look good with long hair. He looks like Hangman from T-Boo. He's cut that shit right now.
Did you say T-Boo or T-Moo?
I said T-Moo, but like my lips popped.
I'm like, what the fuck is T-Boo? He got the knockoff of the knockoff.
Yeah. Tim T-Boo. But yeah.
Everything comes from Croatia.
Yeah, we make it Tyler Bate into Zack Sabre Jr. here, though. He's cutting his hair. He's twisting fingers. He's doing that stuff. And then Rey Mysterio is going to face Kyle Fletcher. And just have like an athletic, good match. And Rey would probably win the first one. And then they do a program where Kyle Fletcher eventually gets his win back. And Rey puts him over.
Tyler Bate's only 27.
Yeah, they're wasting that man's life. He needs to get out of the Fed.
I think he's hurt right now. Yeah, he's. I guess he just got cleared to make his WWE return.
And D-Money, it is your NXT or TNA card.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm doing Worlds Collide. So it's a mix. So we're going to open up with a Ultimate X match for both the NXT or AEW tag team or not AEW, TNA tag team championships. So somebody's walking out with two belts. Well, technically 4, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's
each guy will have 2 belts.
Each guy will have 2 belts. Champ. So it's going to be Pretty Deadly versus the Rascals, which is, and it's just Trey and Trey and Zach, and they're the TNA tag champs.
Okay.
And it's going to be Frax versus Fraxium versus the North, which is Ethan Page and Josh Alexander.
Oh yeah, because Josh Alexander is Probably going. Well, he has not. He's still on TNA's roster, like as of
Yep.
today.
Yep. So as of today, he's still mine. And that's to you. That's for both championships. So I think that match goes fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a banger.
Next one's gonna be Spitfire, who are the current women's tag champions, versus the new team I'm making up, the Gates of Hell, which is Abaddon and Rosemary. Versus the Meta Girls, which is Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, and that's going to be for the TNA Women's Tag Titles.
Yeah, I did not assign any belts or match types to mine. I literally just went singles match every time.
Oh,
They're all gonna be on one pay-per-view because it's AEW.
A lot of my pretty much all but one of my matches is multi-man. So next one's gonna be Jeff Jarrett and Samoa Joe tag teaming together.
What the Sigma?
The originals.
The original, the TNA originals. Versus Ricky Starks.
Oh yeah, you do got him.
And Ashanti the Adonis. They're just a cocky ass tag team. They got ultimate light skin energy.
I was gonna say that.
So
they're like the black version of the douchers from our tournament.
Just ultimate light skin all the time. So for the TNA World Title, it's going to be AJ Styles versus Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Also, I gotta say, did somebody draft both of the douchers for their book at verse? We need that to come.
I forgot who the douchers were.
That was Austin Theory, and it wasn't Grayson Waller. It wasn't Daniel Gar. It was him and Sammy Guevara.
Oh,
if anybody did, I think it'd be you, Damone.
It would have been me, but I don't know if I picked that combo. I don't remember.
We checking your rosters for that. We gotta have the douchers come to life.
So, and for the actual main event, it's going to be Brian Cage versus Dragunov versus Finn Balor versus Adam Cole versus Trick Williams versus the ruler Obafemi.
I was gonna say you're missing out on Trick and Obafemi, but you did good. You did good.
Yep. I'm both in
for the NXT championship.
For the NXT championship,
he's the hula.
Just let them go crazy.
Yeah, that would go crazy.
Yeah, Brian Cage does also need to leave AEW. He's better than being a goon.
Yeah, they've done. Yeah, he went from being a world champion in TNA to just a guy in
just
AEW.
Muscle.
Yeah, pretty much. And that haircut is disgusting.
His previous haircut was more disgusting.
Yeah, his aesthetic is disgusting, but a guy that big shouldn't move like he used to, at least.
So we'll repeat our cards and then we'll wrap up for the night. So the WWE card with the new talent they gained, Money in the Bank.
They're saying who won? They're gonna like who won what match?
Yeah,
I can do
that. So I gotta make him Evan Bourne. Excuse me.
Using his slave name.
So who is winning the Money in the Bank between Evan Bourne, John Morrison, Carmelo Hayes, Jeff Hardy, Orange Cassidy, and Jacob Fatu?
Jacob Fatu's winning, but it's gonna be.
Of course he is.
He's got to win.
WWE after all.
He's got to win.
Jacob Fatu is the most over of that group.
Yeah, I was gonna say he really is, but it's gonna be like it's gonna be a match though. They're gonna be going crazy.
So who is winning?
He's gonna have the case. He's gonna be doing a little shake. He's gonna be having an acting a fool. That's gonna be lit.
He's definitely doing a swanton bomb too.
Yes,
Him and Jeff same time opposite sides of the ring.
Opposite sides,
Jacob
Swanton.
no sells it and gets up right afterwards.
Like that match will be crazy. Like really sit there and think about that match. That match will be crazy.
So one question before we pick a winner: who's he facing, Gunther or Jey Uso? But for Moose,
He honestly, we're gonna say Cody Rhodes still got the belt. He's gonna go after Cody Rhodes.
oh, he's gonna face Cody.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'd have.
I know what you're mixing it up, Kenny.
Oh, you're saying for Jacob. I'm talking about for
I see what
Moose.
you're saying. I thought you were asking who the Money in the Bank was like. Who was
Oh
he?
yeah, who's
I see what you're
Moose facing?
So Moose is gonna go up against. Let's go Gunther. Let's say Gunther beats Jey Uso. Shocks the world because everybody thought Jey Uso was gonna win, but Gunther beats him.
So who's
is
winning
the
between
final
Moose and
boss.
Gunther?
So this is a hard hitting match. I'm gonna have Moose lose the first time, and then eventually I would say they probably go at it 3 times, and then
Okay,
Moose beats him the third.
but Moose wins the series.
Yeah, Moose wins the series, but yeah, Gunther wins majority until he finally gives it up. And they're working like these two. It's stiff.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
like
Moose
Drew
is gonna
McIntyre,
do, like,
Sheamus, and Gunther stiff.
Yeah, no, Moose is gonna try to do flippy shit, and Gunther's just gonna say no.
Yeah, just slap his chest, get your big ass down.
Because Moose is just like a guy who like he's so excited to show off that he can flip. like
Yeah,
he'll have flips to shit that ain't even necessary, and I love that for him. Like,
Gunther's like, no.
so next up on the WWE card, we got Britt Baker versus Becky Lynch. Who is winning that?
For this, I would have Britt Baker win. Make her look like a threat.
Give her that rub.
Yep. Give her that Baker rub. I have Britt
So
Baker
now
win
we
that.
go on to the 4-way tag title match. Who is winning? DIY, Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, or ABC?
I would have Street Profits win because they just had a crazy heel turn, and they're like, they just. And I believe what you said. If you got a repackage,
I love it. like,
yeah, I was say I'm right there with you with the repackage because they just got the repackage too. So like,
yeah, you can't have somebody lose right after repackaging. What's the fucking point? like,
And that promo was fire.
yeah,
no,
that
I saw only the clip of it. Now I want to go watch SmackDown just to watch that part.
But yeah, I would have them win.
They're already funny.
If they didn't repackage, you already know my team was going to win. I'm going to go Motor City Machine Gun.
Yeah.
I almost was gonna try and trade you for him, but I knew there was no way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
just got
then AEW would go crazy too. And for Damone though, you would have had to have done that. It's the TNA originals, though they never left.
I gave him the original. I gave him AJ Styles.
He did give me the original.
I should have offered up Christopher Daniels.
I was looking out. You can't say I was. I was looking out for him.
Hey, Christopher Daniels could still work. I should have offered him up.
Only if he's Curry Man.
Hey, you can do that. He still works as Curry Man on the Indies.
Yeah, I saw that. Wasn't it Curry Man versus Christopher Daniels at one point?
Oh yeah, did somebody else work as Curry Man? That was funny as shit. So what AEW should do, because before we go on to the next match, because Christopher Daniels is retired, he should come back as Curry Man and whoop Hangman's ass. $10. So Ren Sinclair versus Dakota Kai, the #1 contenders match for the women's Intercontinental title. Who is winning that?
I'd have Dakota Kai win it. Have it run back, her against Lyra Valkyria. But I have these two going crazy. I would have these two having a crazy matchup.
So in a competitive
because their movesets are just insane. Like moveset is insane for no reason.
I've never seen a Ren Sinclair match, so I'm curious.
Oh, she's. I think her and Tatum Paxley are the two people that like people sleep on. Like, they're cold in ring. They just don't get the respect.
Tatum, people just talk about like her looks. And she was good in the match I saw her in TNA, so I have no complaints about her wrestling.
Yeah, she's nice. Last one, my main event.
Somehow the Acclaim versus the War Raiders main event. There's some GM mode automation.
That's my last match I had on here. I'd probably go, top to bottom. Like I'd go in that order if anything.
Yeah,
but
you're going bottom up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say bottom up. I go bottom up.
See, mine could go just about any order because like it's an AEW card and there's going to be 13 matches, so we can have those between 3 other matches, and then for some reason Moxley will still be in the main event and put everybody to sleep.
It is usually midnight by then, so it's nice to be able to go to sleep with the main event.
Yeah, Moxley will have you snoring. Like the only thing the Death Riders that I'm looking forward to is when we get an Anarchy in the arena against somebody. That will be fire. Otherwise, fuck them. Anyways, who's winning between the Acclaimed and the War Raiders?
I would put the Acclaimed over on this match.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a disgusting
The
rap with the War
Acclaimed.
Raiders, so I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that. All right. So then it goes to the AEW card. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches. So that's about 2/3 of an AEW card on any given pay-per-view. So Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kenny Omega. I'm gonna have Nakamura win. Kenny Omega will probably have stacked dubs over like Takeshita at this point. Finished up his Don Callis feud. It looked good. So I'm gonna have Nakamura win. Maybe even if there's interference or another feud or who the fuck on some shenanigans, perhaps. But it's gonna be a banger. So Mustafa Ali versus Will Ospreay, both my favoritism and the new person bias are gonna show. Ali's gonna win that. That I think Ali is like a world champion in any company kind of guy, and the fact that he spent that long in WWE, not even winning a cruiserweight belt, is fucking criminal.
It is crazy that him and Buddy were having bangers and he kept losing them.
Well, like the thing about Ali is that like he had like a cult fan base and like was almost North American champion, almost cruiserweight champion, and yeah, never thought they were just gonna go straight to nothing to the WWE title. They didn't think about putting an IC title on him first. No mid card belt. Can't put a US title on him. Like, come on, bro.
And his sacrifice was worth it for Kofi
Yeah,
Mania.
it's fucking criminal but he's a world champion anywhere else, and he will be an AEW world champion if I'm booking him. Nick Nemeth versus Brody King. Shocker. I'm actually gonna have Nick Nemeth lose. Because I'm going to do the story that many people said they should have done with CM Punk. The do I still got it kind of feud, like make you doubt yourself. Because Nick Nemeth is best when his back is up against the wall. That's why people loved him in WWE, and kind of why in TNA he's not getting the same love is because he's too strong in TNA. He's best booked week, and then when he wins, it's a surprise. So I'm gonna have Brody King win, and like have a banger, but Brody King's gonna fuck him up. I'm restoring the magic of what was Dolph Ziggler for Nick Nemeth.
You have multiple wrestlers barking or making like that kind of sound.
We got KC Navarro versus AR Fox. I don't know if this is a pay-per-view match. This is probably on like at least on Dynamite, not Collision.
Collision. Was that on Collision?
I was gonna say this is on the what's the pre-show called for AEW?
That is
0 hour.
0 hour. Yeah, it's definitely a 0 hour match.
But KC Navarro is gonna win this. AR Fox is probably like AEW's most talented jobber, and he does a good job when he's asked to. And he'll put on a good match with anybody. KC Navarro is a kid who I want to invest in. I don't know how young he is. If someone wants to look that up, but
I really called him a kid and watch he's older than you.
He's older than me, probably, maybe. I don't know. Well, actually, I'm old as shit. Maybe not. Like I'm almost 29. I forget I'm not.
He's 25.
He's
he's younger than me.
Yeah.
So, no, this is a guy that you can put a lot into. Like if you haven't seen his stuff in TNA, he is carrying first class. He's good.
Apparently he was in AEW at some point.
Not surprised. We waste talent. We got Cokehead Vince. So Zelina and Brock Moxley is currently ruining our product. But Zelina Vega versus Mercedes Moné. I know Kenny was saying put Moné over. Nah, we getting that belt off her ASAP.
No, I'm saying Vega. Not ASAP. I'm saying not ASAP because then you're gonna get the heat. You're gonna get heat on her immediately. That's why I said have her lose the first.
I feel like that'll get her cheered immediately. Like that'll be like, yeah, Mercedes is gone.
No, because they'll be like another ex-WWE guy. That's gonna be the narrative when you can just have her lose the first time, then have her do it again and be like, I'm more prepared this time. And then she beats her.
Yeah. I'm thinking in like the starting from now perspective, and we already talked about this, but if if Tony Khan dies and he puts in his will that I'm writing AEW, my first 2 moves on the first fucking episode of Dynamite are getting the belts off of Moxley and off of Mercedes. And I'm killing off the Death Riders. That faction will die night 1 that I'm in charge. The Elite will come back. The Young Bucks will say, "I'm so sorry, Kenny Omega. Let's go handle business." And they'll bust into the locker room brawl-in style, and they'll handle fucking the Death Riders.
AEW would hate me. They'd be like, Tony Storm won the belt again.
She's a 100-time world champion somehow.
Bro, she would be all the women's champions. She would be
Tony Storm and Bacon.
Yeah, I'm about to say she would have all the titles.
Tony Storm would be the world champion.
She would have all the belts.
I wouldn't hate that.
I'll put her and MJF in the main event.
That match actually would go crazy.
That feud would go crazy too. Speaking of MJF, we got the Miz versus MJF.
He's definitely calling her a crazy bitch.
And MJF is winning that. He's the young guy. He's should be the face of the fucking company, not John Moxley's crusty ass. And the Miz is old enough to put him over. We here for the promos though, and the Miz is somewhere you can put him on commentary like at PPW. You could do anything with the Miz and it'll work. So he doesn't need to win matches, just like he isn't in WWE. He doesn't need to. I didn't even put the winner here. So 1 second. So I'm Jake Something versus Nick Wayne. Do I even need to say it? Jake Something is winning that. Now, unlike Casey Navarro, and I know Nick Wayne's a lot younger, I don't see very much in Nick Wayne. And I'm not like a body guy. Like, I don't give a shit about physique very much. He needs to work out a little bit. Like, he made Darby Allin look jacked. He's 18, 19. I get it. And he's got some talent. I don't see it in Nick Wayne yet.
Yeah, I don't either. I think this might be his career peak.
Yeah, I just don't see it with him. Tyler Bate versus Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia's reign is boring. Tyler Bate's winning that. And because we're making him our Zack Sabre Jr. at home. And then Rey Mysterio versus Kyle Fletcher. This is going to kind of like the Moose situation where Rey is going to win, but Kyle's going to take the series or just get his get back.
Yeah, I can picture Rey winning like with a roll up or like something.
Yeah.
And then Kyle like beating the shit out of him after.
Yeah.
And then Dominic makes the save when we get babyface Dominic Mysterio, $10.
Wait, you don't just get Dom. We didn't just give you Dom.
Chef Dominic Mysterio.
Nobody wants that.
You still got the daughter.
Who is winning Ultimate X?
I'm gonna go with Fraxium. Fraxium proves that they might be the GOATs.
So you have to be Pretty Deadly Rascals and the North. Okay.
They are never dropping them fucking belts.
They dropped them once. They lost to Chase U, won them right back, and just been beating everybody in their way. And they're gonna keep it up here.
After they take the X down, they just take the Ula follow and put on their.
So that was the Ultimate X for both TNA and NXT tag belts. Pretty Deadly Rascals, Fraxium, the North with Fraxium winning. Now we got Spitfire versus the Gates of Hell, the new tag team of Abaddon and Rosemary versus the Meta Girls for the women's tag of TNA. Who is winning that?
I'm going to go with Gates of Hell. The new tag team is going to win the titles. We're going to actually use Abaddon besides on Halloween.
Yeah.
You're going to have some spooky shit.
PPTNA. But we got Samoa Joe and Jeff Jarrett, the originals, versus Ricky Starks and Adonis, the black version of the douchers, the light skin energy. Who is winning?
Light skin energy. It's gonna look like Jeff Jarrett's gonna the ref's gonna get knocked down. Jeff Jarrett goes to use the guitar, accidentally hits Samoa Joe instead. Ricky Starks and Adonis take advantage and win. And then Jeff Jarrett and Samoa Joe get into it after the match.
Yeah, how about say they start? That's not bad.
And they both hit the camera and stare at it like.
Yeah. That would be awful.
Yeah, I could definitely see Ricky Starks or Adonis doing that as Ricky Starks does the hand thing.
That'll be annoying.
$10.
That'll be so annoying. It just
Light
That's-
skins versus the douchers. Who wins?
so with the athletes
The
with
fans.
the
That's
athletes
weird.
with aura, and he just hit their pose. You know, that'll be so nasty.
Hey, Kitty was practicing that. I saw him at that.
Yeah, they're definitely mewing.
Oh yeah, the looks maxing.
That's nasty.
So we got AJ Styles versus Joe Hendry for the TNA title. Who's winning?
This one's tough. I'm gonna have Joe Hendry. I'm gonna have AJ Styles put Joe Hendry up or over.
I
And
would.
then, after the match, they can shake hands.
Yep, that's when you have him shake hands. He gives him his respect.
Yeah, he gives him his respect. He lifts his hand up, and
AJ Styles has to be a face there. He can't be a heel there. He has
Yeah,
to.
no
the moment that like "Get ready to fly" hits, babyface.
Every day of my life.
And then everybody ignores the lyrics to that song.
I am.
I did. I guess I ignored it all that time because I never realized he
I
said
knew the
that.
fucking verse, and I was like, "This shit is ass." Like,
I just waited for you. Are.
I am.
The inside show through the outside.
Yeah, the lyrics are terrible, but it goes fire.
I never realized he said that to that one episode we did.
Yeah, the lyrics aren't good for AJ's theme in TNA, but still fire.
The last match, we got a 6-pack challenge: Brian Cage, Dragunov, Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Trick Williams, and Obafemi for the NXT title. Who's winning that? I feel like Adam Cole needs it.
Yeah. Or Finn could use it too.
I think I would have Finn win it, but I would have him win and not beat Obafemi.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Finn pin Trek. I think in NXT, Trick can take an L and be fine. And realistically, I could send him up north to the main roster to Kenny after this. But yeah, I think Finn pins Trek to win the match, and then you can do a Finn versus Obafemi feud going on after.
Yeah, and you could probably maybe set up a feud with like Adam Cole and Dragunov in there or something.
Yeah. Or like I almost did Brian Cage, but I'm also trying to. I didn't do Brian Cage as the one who got pinned because I'm trying to rehabilitate him. So Trick is the one who can. Dragunov's coming back. Finn is winning. Cole needs to not be pinned. Oba, I don't want Oba getting pinned anytime soon. So, or if he is, it's got to be like in a regular one-on-one match.
Yeah,
so,
Trick is the one that can afford eating that pin.
He can take the pin.
All right, so we have booked us some cards. We have got some trades in, and that has been your pro wrestling trade deadline. I hope that was as exciting as Luka to the Lakers was. Definitely more exciting than the dunk contest with a G Leaguer. So I hope that this has made your All-Star weekend just that much better. So D-Money, where can they find you?
You can find me on all the shits except for shit owned by Elon Musk, because fuck that guy. And I've been saying it for a decade. So you can find me everywhere else at DaMoneyT13, DAMONEYT13.
We've somehow managed to diss RFK, Trump, and Elon in one episode. Fuck them. I'm going to let Kenny finish on his 37 shows. So I'm going to tell y'all where to find me. That is on the Facebook Reach for the Ropes Wrestling Discussion Group. It's the birthplace of all these connections. You can come talk wrestling there, or you can come find me on Blue Sky. I don't use it as much as I should. Heel Pepsi Man, hit me up. And Bad Guy, tell me about your 37 shows.
You can catch me on all social medias at Bad Guy Spoken. Catch the Bad Guy Spoken podcast on YouTube. And you can also catch Hood Movie Review, where we just reviewed Booty Call. So check out that episode. Should be coming out on Wednesday.
Let's go.
You'll see us. So Booty Call episode is coming Wednesday. Gang Related is coming next. The Tupac and John Belushi movie. So we got some heat coming for y'all.
I love
that
movies.
combination doesn't sound like it'd be good, but for some reason it is.
Oh, you never seen Gang Related?
No, I have. I'm
Okay.
saying like just if I say John Belushi and Tupac, it's like what the fuck? That doesn't make sense.
And then you got James Earl Jones.
Yeah, it's just so fucking random.
You can also catch what was on Hood Movie Review. So you can also catch Geek in the motherfucking Sheets. We talk all things anime, Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. Talk about all that shit. And last but not least, you can also catch I forgot the name of the show just like fast. Not a Real Court, where we argue about things like best fruit. We ain't doing best vegetables. One of these days, I'll put it in there.
One of these days, Joe got to eat one first. But that has been an episode of Book It. See ya and happy All-Star Weekend.
Bye.